brief in the beginning. We'll cover all the citizenship stuff. You can say what you got to say, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do all of it. Okay. We're all gonna since you have an extra grade, we're all gonna cover it. That's fine. They got a lot to try to do.
And I'll keep it very quick, I promise. Thanks, Steve. Jen.
Assembly of the 2016-2017 school year, and as always, one of my favorite parts about our Spirit Assemblies is when I see all of you wearing your yellow and red. I love it. Thank you very much. It's been a great day. We had an awesome running club this morning, and we had a super awesome 5th grade versus the teachers kickball game, and I had to leave early, so I don't know if I caught the final score. Is Mr. Claypool here? Mr. Claypool, what was the final score?
It was the kids 35, the teachers 1.
Kids 35, teachers 1. All right, good job, you guys. The kickball game, not so much about the score. Not so much about the score. But we had a blast. We had an absolute blast during that kickball game. We had music playing, we had people singing, we had people dancing, and we mixed in a little bit of kickball with all of that, and that was awesome. You guys were fantastic, so thank you very much for that. I'm going to keep my comments very, very brief. We're adding grade levels to our Spirit Assembly today, so we have a lot to get through. I just have a few things that I want to say the Citizenship Assembly today, I just want to ask you to reflect just for a minute. If you think back to October, we talked about respect. That's how we started our school year. Our spirit theme that we celebrated in October for the very first few months of school was respect. So I want you to think about that for a second. And then we got through the holidays, and we got into January, and you know how you feel in January. You wish the holidays weren't over, and you see a long, hard winter ahead of you. And we got together again, and we had another awesome spirit assembly, and we talked about responsibility. So just think about that for a minute. Talked about responsibility in January. And then we got through most of the winter weather. Had a little bit there late in the season, but we got through most of it. We persevered through those long nights in wintertime, not as much daylight out there, cold temperatures. And we came back together again in March, right at the beginning of spring. And we celebrated our spirit theme of good decision making. I want you to think about that for a second. Good decision making. And then we came back together again just a few weeks ago, and we talked about leadership. And we recognized many students over the course of the school year that really stood out in each of those areas. Today, we bring all of those areas together. It's what citizenship is all about. We bring all of those themes together. And today is a very, very special day because we get to recognize students from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade that really have exemplified citizenship all through the year. Many of you have, and many of you will continue. Today we are honoring a few from each of the grade levels about all of those themes wrapped up into one, and we call it citizenship. So without any further ado, I think we're ready for the Spirit song. Are you guys ready for the Spirit song? Are you going to sing real loud? Here's the biggest question.
Can you clap on me?
Are you gonna sing with the beat? Are you gonna all stay together? Promise? All right, we'll see. Here we go. Second grade, so I'd like to get a big round of applause for our second grade teachers, Mrs. Doherty, Miss Marquetto, and Mrs. Whitelock. Could you give them a big round of applause?
Before we can present any awards, we have a special showing.
turning point, fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this time.
Mrs. Crooner, for your retirement, I think you should go on a lovely vacation with your family and friends. You could also just relax at home on the couch and read or watch some TV.
Mrs. Cipollini, for your retirement, I think you should sleep until 10 a.m. every day.
Mr. D, whatever you do, don't move out of the Hillendale School District. Otherwise, I won't get my favorite principal again. I wish you great luck, and I'll see you in 6th grade. P.S. Don't forget your HETV spirit. Dear Husky Kyle, Christian Banana.
Mrs. Crooner, for your retirement, I think you should go visit your grandson and granddaughter.
Mrs. Cipollini, for your retirement, I think you should watch movies, eat tons of cookies, read lots and lots of books, and go outside and explore nature.
Mr. D, as the new middle school principal, I think you should do the paperwork, make adjustments to the schedule, and put the bad kids in detention. Instead, fire teachers and let the kids go wild.
Mrs. Crooner, for your retirement, you should be happy. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something. Good luck.
Mrs. Cipollini, for your retirement, you should still be your fun and loving self. I know your personality will always be as kind as it is now. Mr. D, at the middle school, you should act the same as you did here at Hillendale because we love you and so will the middle schoolers. You are a perfect principal.
It's not a question, not a lesson learned in time, but something unpredictable. In the end, that's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Miss Crooner, for your retirement, I think you should do one last lap around the Hillendale Trail with all the kids in school.
Mrs. Cipollini, for your retirement, I think you should buy a hot tub and just relax. Mr. D, at the middle school, I think you should embarrass our older siblings. Some advice I can give you is that middle school teenagers are the opposite of us. Mrs. Cipollini, for your retirement, I think you should mentor new kindergarten teachers because you are such a great teacher now. Mrs. Crooner, for your retirement, I think you should be happy because we will always remember during the office giving a big smile every day. Mr. D, at the middle school, I think you should put windows in all the rooms. Did you know they call a middle school a jail because it has no windows? You should make the school more bright and sunny.
Mr. D, at the middle school, I think you should let kids go outside for recess and lunch when they finish eating and they're all tired. Make everybody happier and healthier.
So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good time.
Mrs. Cipollini, for your retirement, I think you should keep smiling because you always smile. Mrs. Crooner, for your retirement, I think you should lay down and relax and think about all the things you've done for Hillendale. Mr. D's advice I would give you in your job as a middle school principal is to be happy and do not give up. Mrs. Cipollini, for retirement, I think you should go to Paris. Mrs. Crooner, for your retirement, I think you should lay in your bed, have coffee, and go on vacation every weekend. Mr. D, advice I would give you in your new job as a middle school principal is be the best you can be and give the students recess. You should not let people bully other people.
Tattoos and memories, let's get on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. You had the time of your life.
You should not wipe a nose unless it is yours, and you should not forget about the 5th grade you had in kindergarten.
Miss Kramer, for your retirement, I think you should go start a new hobby and go to the Bahamas. You should not take any more phone calls or pass out any PSSA books.
Mr. D, advice I would give you for your new job as the middle school principal is keep your happy attitude, be ready to give detention, and do the same thing you did at Hillendale. Make it a better place.
Mr. Lee, for your retirement, I think you should spend time wisely.
Mr. D, advice I'll give you in your new job as middle school principal is to give students triple recess every day. You should not leave Hillendale.
Mrs. Kruger, for your retirement, I think you should stuff your face with candy while watching HETV news. Mrs. Kruger, for your retirement, I think you should be a teacher.
Mrs. Tripoli, for your retirement, I think you should visit your family and then take up a nice hobby like knitting or yoga.
Mr. D, at the middle school, I think you should let the school have dance breaks because they don't have recess.
Mr. Tripoli, you should stay at an outdoor pool when you retire.
Miss Kuna, you should play with Mr. Bellini when you retire.
Mr. D, you should make the water fountain soda and have Katie at the middle school.
Mrs. Kruger, for your retirement, I think you should spend time with your family and occasionally sub for the new secretary. Mrs. Cipollini, for your retirement, I think you should take a long vacation because teaching kindergarten must give you lots of stress. And I know, because looking back, I know I was a complete pain in the back. Mr. D, advice I would give you at your new job as middle school principal is to try to learn everyone's name. I also think you should try and visit Hillendale.
Goodbye, Mrs. Kruger. We love you, Mrs. Cipollini. We love you, Mrs. Cipollini. We love you, Mr. Lee. We miss you, Mr. Lee.
I hope you had the time of your It's something that we don't know, and as well. I hope you had the time of your life.
The PTO wanted to honor both of you retirees, so we have a couple of gifts for you guys. This one is for Mrs. Krudner, and it says, Mrs. Krudner, 25 years of growing the school and touching our lives. And for Mrs. Cipollini, it says, Mrs. Cipollini, planting love and knowledge in children for 38 years. that they get to take home, we need to remember them here in the school as well. So for Mrs. Krudner, in the office will be this. And for Mrs. Cipollini, while I don't have anything physical right now, the new playground will be dedicated to you. That was all. We just wanted to say thank you to you guys for the wonderful service.
Back to Lisa. Uh-oh. Back to second grade. Wait a minute.
Are you taking that one? We're getting ready for retirement. We don't know what to say. This morning I walked down the steps and something popped. So I guess I really am old. But this is just amazing and surprising and amazing. And we love you all. We love all of you. And thank you. Colleagues and our families, but also our amazing PTO, because without all of you, it's just amazing. So thank you to each and every stakeholder in our Hillendale community. So thank you very, very much. And my husband's picking me up in 5 minutes to go to the doctor's.
I don't know what to say other than I love each and every one of you. It's been a wonderful 25 years, and I'm going to miss each and every one of you. I wasn't as good as remembering all the kids' names as Mr. D was, but I know a lot of you kids, and I'll remember you forever, okay? And PTO, I wish you the best. You all deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cipollini and Mrs. Krudner, and I think I speak on behalf of the entire Hillendale community, not just this year, but in many, many years past, in just saying a great big thank you for your dedication and your level of commitment to this awesome school. And I have found it very, very difficult when people have asked me, what is it about Hillendale? I've found it very difficult to capture it in words. It's just something that you have to experience. I believe that. I don't know that anyone could ever capture the magic that occurs here in this school in words. I think it's something that you just have to live, you have to breathe it, you have to feel it, and a big part of that are these two individuals right here who have given their heart and soul to this school. Could we just please give them one more big round of applause? And I do feel, in the spirit of honesty, the reason that Mrs. Cipollini hurt her knee is because of all the dancing she was doing during the kickball game today. Good luck with all of that. Thank you so much. Thanks, Gene. Thanks, Catherine. Okay, we're a little bit off the agenda
No, we're
here.
fine.
We're good?
We're good.
We're going to pick up, could we get a big round of applause for our second grade teachers? One more time, Mrs. Dockery, Mrs. Marqueta, and Mrs. White.
Okay, boys and girls, we are back to our regularly scheduled program, which is the Citizenship Assembly. And I speak on behalf of the team when I say that we wish that we had more than just a few awards to give today, and that we are very proud of our communities and very proud of our citizens. And I don't want my class to think about this as a competition. I want you to think about it as a collaboration. And I want you to know that the two people that are going to be recognized today are two people that are like glue in our community. They keep us together. So I'm going to call my first winner up, and then I want to read to her. So could you put your hands together for Aniel standing? Dear Aniel, today you are being recognized as a wonderful female role model in our classroom for the Spirit themes this year. It is a great honor for you and a privilege for me to present you with this award. I want to thank you for your positive energy, your helpfulness, and the joy that you bring to our classroom. You are the first one to lend a helping hand. Here is some evidence using what you say and what you do in the classroom to support our findings for you as a banner citizen. First of all, thank you for all the times you made positive comments to others when they didn't feel positive about themselves. Remember that time when you stayed to help a classmate clean out their desk even though we were all heading to special? Remember those shoes you tied for friends in the hallway? Remember how much you helped Miss Healy, our student teacher, to understand and appreciate HES? Thank you for seeing the good in the people in our classrooms. I do not believe that I have ever heard you complain, not even once. Thank you for making decisions to support our learning environment in the classroom. You are one of the most sought-after partners and table mates because of your skills, your attitude, your abilities, and you know that friends will let you make them better. And finally, thank you for being you. Your unique style and strengths remind us all how important it is to be who you really are. In the words of one of your classmates, Aniel is kind, she is helpful, she gets her work done on time, and she shares with other people. This makes us all feel happy. We are so proud of you, Aniel, because you have the capacity to shine your light on other people. You know how to be happy for others and to move ahead. We are proud to call you a member of our Route 20 pack. Paws up, Aniel's name. I would like to call up Thank you for all the times you offered to help me, guest teachers, and friends, and others in and around our classroom. This shows your respect for learning, for yourself, and helping others. You are the best attendance clip organizer I have ever had. Thank you for choosing to be working during independent time. This shows how serious you are about your responsibility. Your stamina and your persistence has grown a great deal this year. Thank you for making decisions to see the best in other people and working cooperatively with others. Your quiet manner shows your ability to make good decisions with peers. You also remind us not to get stuck when we make mistakes. Lots of times, you just giggle and then you revisit your work. Thank you for being an outstanding citizen in our classroom. You're the kind of learner that every classroom works well. In the words of one of our classmates, Ollie is a good citizen. He works hard, he gives 100%, and plays nice. He doesn't brag, he follows directions, and he smiles way more than other kids. We are all happy for you, Ollie, and proud to call you a member of our family. Paws up for you, Ollie.
Hello, Hillendale. Hi, everyone. All right. When I think about the Citizenship Award, I want you to understand what type of qualities I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone who's honest. I'm looking for someone who's respectful. I'm looking for someone who's patient. I'm looking for someone who's kind. I'm looking for someone who is, this is a hard one, courageous, and also compassionate. Every year I say to Mrs. Doherty, I don't know who, every year I say I don't know who I'm going to pick, because there are so many wonderful students in my classroom. There are so many kids that I could pick. Like Mrs. Doherty said, I wish I could give an award to everyone. But this is a special award, and there are 2 students in my classroom who have earned it. In 2nd grade, we have been doing a poetry reading. So, room 16, if you listen carefully, I want you to see if you can figure out who I chose for our citizenship award. You have to really listen carefully. The poem is called Who Am I? Kind. Yes, ma'am, in a good way. Yes, Miss Marquetto. Yes, I'll help. Yes, this is fun. Likeable. Encouraging. I'm an excellent example of an outstanding Hillendale citizen. Who am I? Can anyone from our classroom guess? Who do you think it is? You have to figure out the pattern of the poem. Riley? No. Kind. Yes, man. What do you think? No, not Bridget. I'll take one more. No, it is K-Y for yes, man. L for likable. E for encouraging. Come on up, Kaiser. Yesterday in classroom 16, and something happened this morning. It was so awesome. This little girl came up to me that's in my classroom. She's a great girl. She talked to me about what happened yesterday. She was not afraid to talk to me. She explained to me what happened, and for me it was awesome because I walked back into the classroom, and I have to tell you that I said, yes, I'm picked the right person. The next two are my poem. Special, helpful, always positive, never boastful, nice, optimistic, natural leader. I am an excellent example of an outstanding Hillendale citizen. Who am I? What do you think, Evan? Shannon, please come on up.
All right, hello Hillendale. Oh, let's try that again. Hello Hillendale. All right, so the citizenship report for my class, just like everyone else has said, it was very, very challenging for me to pick who my winners were going to be. So I know I talked to you guys upstairs about this. I wish, we could all get this lovely award, but we have to pick two people. So sitting down and trying to select who I was going to pick, I had my class vote. And the winner for the Girl Award is Patty Escandon. Dear Patty, congratulations. I am very proud of your leadership skills, the good decisions you made throughout the school year, how respectful you were to your peers, and the responsibility that you have taken on as a second grader. This year, I have watched you grow as a leader. You are not afraid to stand up for what you believe in, even if you are the only one. You are always someone that is looked up to by your peers. Each day of second grade, you are a very respectful and responsible student. One of your classmates said, Patty always thinks about others before she thinks about herself. And I couldn't agree more on that statement. You are one of the most thoughtful students that I've ever met. If a student comes in late or ever misses a lesson, you always jump right in to help them. Another classmate said that you're always ready to help if they're ever stuck on something. In addition, making good decisions is something that you do each and every day. You never need a reminder, and you are always following our directions. These qualities, as well as so many more, are why Room 18 voted for you. We're very proud of you. Good luck in third grade. All right, and for the boy for our class for Room 18, we selected Marky. Congratulations. Your class and I both agree that you are respectful, responsible, and make great decisions daily. You show respect each day in our classroom. You use classroom materials correctly, and you treat others the way you want to be treated. And you are someone who always shows kindness to your friends. If somebody gets hurt, you are the first one to jump in and ask them if they are okay. One of your classmates said, Marky is a great citizen in our room because when he comes into the room, I feel happier. You are a great friend, and we love having you in our class. In addition to being respectful, you are also a very responsible student. Whether we are reading a book or following a procedure in the science lab, we can always count on you to be following our directions. For all of these reasons, this is why Room 18 has selected you as the recipient of the Citizenship Award. I am very proud of you and can't wait to see you for a third grade team soon. Congratulations.
second grade. And now let's have a big round of applause for our third grade teachers, Mrs. Collins, Mrs. Martinelli, and Miss Webble.
Good afternoon, Hillendale. So I wrote a letter to each of my award winners, and just like all the other teachers said, there really were a lot of students that probably could have chosen for this award, but I think Mrs. Doherty said it. They're the kids that kind of just, they're the glue that hold the whole class together, and I truly can't imagine them being there. So I'm going to start off with my girl winner, and it is Shay Church. Dear Shay, it is truly an honor to give you this award. The positive attitude that you bring into room 12 each day is something that I am extremely grateful for. It is evident that you begin each school day with an eagerness to learn and a willingness to help. Not only do you help me with things around the classroom, but you also help your classmates in so many different ways, whether it's working out a difficult problem or simply helping everybody get back on track. You are always there to lend a hand. One of my favorite things about you is how incredibly observant you are of what's happening around you. This quality is so important, and it comes with a lot of responsibility. You are the first person to begin moving when you know we will be transitioning between activities. You are also the first person to check on a friend if they seem to be having a bad day. And probably, most importantly, you are the first person to speak up if you sense that something just isn't right. I feel so lucky to have had you in my class this year, and I'm excited to follow the rest of your career here at Hillendale. Congratulations. And our second winner from room 12 is Tyler Wilson. Dear Tyler, I feel so lucky to have had you in my class this year. Your words and actions each day truly make our classroom a better place. You have the maturity that is expected of an almost fourth grader, and you set such a great example to everyone around you. One of my favorite things about you is the way that you treat people. Whether it is your very best friend or just another classmate, you have a way of making them feel like the most important person in the room. You really listen to your classmates and you consider their feelings and opinions. People like being around you, and the reasons are obvious. You seamlessly take on the leadership role in most instances, and your classmates put their faith in you to lead the group. When you make decisions, you always consider how the outcome will affect others. I'm so excited to follow your journey here at Hillendale. I know that you will continue to do great things. Congratulations.
All right, I'd like to call up our first winner from our room, and that's Emma Walter. All right, Emma, so I wrote you a letter. You said, I'm honored to present you with the Citizenship Award for the 2016-2017 school year. Good citizens are respectful, responsible, and good decision makers. Because of possessing those three qualities, good citizens have true leadership potential as well. Emma, you are truly an example of what it means to be a good citizen. I admire the way you're always putting others first, and you're always willing to lend a helping hand, whether it's to me or a classmate. What I admire about you most is that you model what it means to be a good citizen quietly, but because of your kind and welcoming nature, I notice others wanting to follow your lead. You have a wonderful way about you, Emma, that makes you a natural leader. As your teacher, I feel fortunate to have had a great example of good citizenship in the classroom. And your classmates are fortunate to have had you to look up to. Thank you for such a great school year, and congratulations on this honor. I'm so proud of all of your hard work. All right, and our second winner is Tristan Mitchell. I'll read you the letter I wrote. It said, I am honored to present you with the Citizenship Award for the 2016-2017 school year. It is very well deserved. You have been a pleasure to have in class this year. You are respectful to teachers and classmates, and you are responsible with your belongings and the belongings of others, and you make the decision to work hard every day in all that you do. Now, I didn't ask the class as to who they thought should win this award. However, you should know that I am not the only one who recognizes your good citizenship. I see through your daily interactions that you are a student who other students like to be around. You are kind, caring, and a friend to all. When I asked students to write down names of students they'd like to sit near, your name was written over and over again. In another instance, when I was walking with students out to the buses, I actually overheard two of your classmates talking about how you are someone that could be friends with anyone. And with that comment, I couldn't have agreed more. You lead quietly through the good decisions you make every day, and others notice and admire you for it. I feel so fortunate to have been your teacher this year. Thank you for a wonderful year. I'm so proud of you, Tristan.
Congratulations on winning the Citizenship Award for the 2016-2017 school year. I feel so lucky to know you. Recently, I gave a speech to the entire third grade about making the right choices. During that speech, I stressed the importance of doing the right thing when no one is looking. A lot of people do and say the right things when they are being watched, when they know they should, but they do not do the same things when they are not being watched. Well, I watched you all year long make the right decision, both while you're being watched, but more importantly, when you are not. You are kind, considerate of others' feelings and property, and you offer to help anyone at any time, regardless of if they are your best friend or not. You are responsible and consistently do the right thing. How many times this year have I used you as an example by saying to the class, everyone look at Sophie, she is making the right choice. If you do not look like Sophie, you are making the wrong choice. You silently set an example for your classmates about what it means to be a serious student, a kind friend, and a supportive classmate. I came across a quote that made me think of you. It says, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. That is 100% true about you. You know what to do when you do it, and you show others how to do it. And the thing that always impresses me about you is you make the right choices because it's just who you are. I think it comes naturally to you. You don't even have to try hard to be the responsible person that you are. Sophie, I look forward to following your school career, and I know you have a bright future ahead of you. Stay sweet, stay kind, keep working hard, and continue to be the example we all need to make the right choices in life. I'm so proud of you, and I'll miss you very much. And now I would like to call up Shane Gilday. Dear I came across a quote about citizenship that made me think of you. The quote is, ants, like the bug, ants are good citizens. They place the needs of the group before their own. I don't know how much you know about ants, but ants are very social with all the other ants. You're pretty social about it. Ants work together to form their colony, and they are so united in a common goal for survival and growth that they almost function as one instead of many. Now, I'm not saying that you're an ant, but the primary reason I'm giving you this award is because you always think of everyone else before yourself. You willingly and with a smile offer your pencil, paper, snack, or lend a helping hand to a classmate. You are the first one to offer to help when someone missed an assignment or needs help with a problem. And at the end of every day, you crawl around on the floor and pick up anything that is left on the ground by other people. And then you also always tell me to have a good night when I walk into the bus. You have a kind heart, and I see this in your daily interactions with your friends. And one of the qualities I love the most about you is how you treat everyone the same. I know that I can put you in any group to work with any student, and you will do so with a positive attitude and excellent work ethic. You are serious about your schoolwork, and you know you are here to learn. You are a role model for what someone should do in the classroom. Shane, if I can encourage you to do one thing for the rest of your life, it will be this. Never stop thinking of those around you. Never stop caring about other people. Doesn't matter if they're your friends or not, just always care. You have so much kindness to offer the world. I started this with a quote that made me think of you, and I'd like to end it with one as well. Mr. Rogers once said, when I used to watch scary things on the news, my mother always told me not to focus on the bad, but to look for the helpers. Shane, you are a helper. Continue to help and be a good citizen to those in the world, and you will do amazing things.
One more big round of applause for our third grade Citizenship Award winners. Well done, good job, you guys. Remember, you'll come back up here for a picture at the very end. You can have a seat. Thank you very much, and congratulations again. And as they're finding their way back to their seats, how about a big round of applause for our fourth grade teachers, Mrs. O'Neill and Mrs. Callahan.
Hello. Good to see all of your faces in the place. I love it. All right, so fourth grade, we've been enjoying some wonderful things at the end of the year, one of which is a book of poetry called The Important Thing. And it's a book about the simple important things of everyday life, like wind and spoons. It's kind of fantastic. So what we decided to do as fourth grade teachers was to model our poetry for our Citizenship Award after The Important Thing. Because the two people that we've each picked are important people, and they help to make our room a wonderful place. I'd like to start with Tristan Liberace. And so this is The Important Thing by Mrs. Callahan for Tristan Liberace. The important thing about Tristan Liberace is that he is himself. He works hard each day in class and helps others work to their best ability too. He is kind, generous, and thoughtful. He has an amazing sense of humor and brings joy to those around him. He is unique, stylish, and fun to be around. He is a leader and can do his own thing regardless of what others do. But the important thing about Tristan Liberace is that he is himself. Congratulations, Tristan.
he was thirsty. All right. Mia Fisher! Come on in! Come on over. Hang out with me while I tell you about this. This is called The Important Thing. It's by Mrs. Callahan. It's for Mia Fisher. The important thing about Mia Fisher is that she is herself. Her artwork is detailed, beautiful, and colorful. She doesn't quickly answer, but instead is thoughtful and gives a meaningful response. She cares deeply for animals and hopes to work with them someday. She is hardworking, clever, and never gives up. She is creative in all aspects of her work, injecting her spirit into what she produces. But the important thing about Mia Fisher is that she is herself. Congratulations.
So before I start, I would be remiss if I didn't say this to Mr. D, but Mr. D, this is your last spirit assembly. I have been reminded. I know, I'm so good. I just wanted to start by saying, in a year of having 26 students in my class, being 26 strong, I feel very thankful and privileged to be among awesome citizens, every single one of them, for many different reasons. That's really the greatest part about being a teacher. So I'm just going to start doing my comment. Won't get very far. So first I would like to call up Grant Wild. Is that he is genuine. He is caring, thoughtful, and kind, and he always has everyone's best interest at heart. He is reliable and trustworthy, positive and patient, and he can always be seen putting someone else's feelings first before his own. Quietly leading by always doing the right thing, making our classroom a brighter place. We are so lucky to know him. But the important thing about Grant is that he is genuine. I just wanted to say that, I don't know if Mrs. Haynes is still in here, but she had sent this quote to all of us, I guess like a week ago, and it really kind of sat with me, and I thought the quote was, be somebody that makes everybody feel like somebody. And I really have to say that the two people from my classroom, and I'm sure the other teachers feel the same way, are really people that do that, make other people feel important. So my next winner is Cara Dioria. She is reliable. She is happy and helpful, responsible and hardworking, and always supportive. Good-natured, calm, and composed. Always. A good listener who genuinely cares about your feelings. A good friend to all those around her. She is genuine, friendly, and trustworthy. Always with a smile and a kind word to say. She is the kind of person we all want to be around. But the important thing about Cara is that she is reliable.
We're many, but we're mighty. Go fourth grade!
How about a big round of applause for our fourth grade award winners? Good job, you guys. Make sure you come back up here for a picture at the very end. You can have a seat. Okay, we are down to our final grade, 5th grade. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Ricky, Mrs. Scala, and Mrs. Chiquino.
Okay, I have selected 2 students this year to receive the Citizenship Award who embody the ideas that I have for what this award means. To me, this award is extra special, to be recognized as an individual who stands out in some way for reasons that are all good. You are kind, you are respectful, you are hardworking, you are helpful, and you are responsible. To me, the Citizenship Award goes to one boy and one girl in the class who have a great deal of integrity. Do you know what integrity means? Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. That means very simply you do the right thing just because that is what you do. I would like to call up both Michael Leand and Ellie O'Donnell. Do you remember at the beginning of the year when we watched the video about the man in the red bandana? Okay. He was Wells Crowther, a man who was in one of the Twin Towers on 9/11, who helped save the lives of others while losing his own life. I'd like to guess that when he was in elementary school, perhaps he would have won the Citizenship Award too. Do you remember the story I told you about the boy who stood up for me in 5th grade? His name was Jim Burns. Do you remember how later in life so many people thought that he was such a great person because of what he did? I'd like to think he would have gotten the Citizenship Award back then too, if they had given it out like we do. I'd like you to know that I put the 2 of you in the same category as Wells Crowther and Jim Burns. To them, being a good citizen was actually pretty easy. Ellie. You are that person I can count on to make good decisions for the good of a group when I might not be close by. You are the one who gets to work when you should because you see school and what you do in it as your responsibility. You are the one, when given a choice, who still works hard and focuses on the most minute detail because it is important for you to do your best. I'm actually thinking about your book review project here because I know you took so much time in it and your work definitely showed how much you care. Remember that? I'm glad your classmates saw that too because I know that is one of the ways you get respect from your peers. You are the one who shows a great deal of integrity each and every day, and I am so grateful and fortunate to have you as a student. You will do great things in the future. Michael. You are that person who I can predict to do the right thing. A strength you have that adults notice and appreciate is the fact that you make eye contact when you are supposed to be listening. It's true, even right now, isn't it? Right now. It may be just you and one adult or a classmate, but you give them the time and your eyes show the speaker has your attention. You do the same even when you're in a large group or a small group. You don't have to be listening, but you do. Your eyes reveal a lot about what you show is important, and when you look and listen as you do, people notice. You are the kid who hears the teacher say, "Whose shoes are in the middle of the hallway?" And before anyone can even respond, I can peek out in the hallway and see that you're tucking in a pair of pink flip-flops to where they should be, and they weren't even yours. You just do the right thing, even when others aren't watching. Did you know I saw you do that with the flip-flops? I saw you do that. And for that, I am hopeful that when you head off to Patton, other kids have a role model to watch to help them make good decisions, and you will do great things in the future. I look forward to having you both come back to Happy Hillendale to visit, but also to tell me of the wonderful things that you have accomplished throughout your lives. I will miss you very much. Dear Caroline, since you kind of like this band called One Direction, I thought I would come up with a list of what makes you beautiful. Number 1, you care so much about other people. You always want others to be happy, and you will go out of your way to make sure that they are. Number 2, you care so much about dogs. I love hearing all the stories about the dogs that your family fosters. They are so lucky to have a caregiver as sweet as you. Number 3, you are always willing to share with everyone, whether it is a big smile, the use of your ball chair for the day, or some of your chips from your daily can of Pringles. And it's usually about 9:30 a.m. that happens. You are always so giving. And number 4, you have a great sense of humor. You know how to make others smile, laugh, and just be happy. I don't know if I ever had a conversation with you that didn't end with a big smile on my face. You do all of this on a daily basis, and you never expect anything in return from anyone. So Caroline, that's what makes you beautiful. I think your classmates would agree with the list above, and here's what a few in particular had to say. She is always doing the right thing, and she shows a great deal of respect to my feelings and to others. She is kind to everybody, is always a good friend, she cares about others, and she is funny. And she makes me laugh, is very kind, and is a true friend. We will miss that big smile of yours next year, but I know it will brighten the faces of many at Patton Middle School next year. Good luck, and remember all the fun we had here this year. Love this. And next I would like to call up Christian Wentry. Thank you so much for being a wonderful citizen all year long in our room. As soon as I came back to work in January, I could tell right away that you try your best every single day to be a wonderful student. You are always doing what you are supposed to be doing, whether I am looking or not. You are very kind to everyone, and you care so much about others. You are always willing to help anyone in need. If you finish an assignment early, you often ask me if I need help with anything in the room, and if I don't need any help, you will then ask, well, what can I do to keep busy, instead of wandering over to a friend's desk to fool around. You follow the rules and you try to encourage others to do the same. You work very hard when you are here at school, but you also know how to smile, laugh, and have a good time, and that's important too. It's not just me that sees these qualities in you. Your classmates agree as well. Here are a few quotes from some of them. In gym, he always asks if you are okay, he cares about the way you feel, and is very responsible. He treats people the right way, and he doesn't do things that can hurt other people. He is a great leader, a nice friend, and makes good choices. And he has great sportsmanship, never brags, and I've never seen him be mean to his peers. Christian, when people are around you, they feel happy and comfortable because of your kind, big heart. We are going to miss you here at Hillendale next year, but we know that you are going to do wonderful things at the middle school. Always stay true to yourself and remember all that you learned here at Happy Hillendale. Congratulations.
Okay, I'd like to call up Courtney Keller and Trevor Diorio. When I sat down to select 2 students to receive the Citizenship Award for my class, many names came to mind. I was looking for 2 people that exemplified the meaning of citizenship beyond the definition we often use, which is the student that wins this award could have been selected for any of the awards given this year in previous assemblies. While that statement holds true, it was the first criteria of my selection. To be a complete citizen, it goes further. Yes, a good citizen is respectful, responsible, good decision maker, and a good leader. And last year at this assembly, I stressed the importance of attitude and how a good citizen will always respond with a positive attitude when in a tough spot. Complete citizens do what they're supposed to do and convey a good attitude while doing it. I also mentioned last year the poem that hangs in my room, and how it's the first thing handed out on the first day of school. It's titled Attitude.
And here are the best 2 lines in that 13-line poem. The remarkable thing is, we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace that day. And I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. I'm going to share an example of how each of my award winners have shown a great attitude, how a great attitude leads to great citizenship. And each example will tie into the 2 lines for the attitude poem. You know that word? I have been absolutely blessed with such a kind and considerate class this year. With that being said, there's a great quote from the movie Remember the Titans, where one of the characters in the movie says the line, "Attitude reflects leadership." Well, I'd like to think that the positive attitude, the image of my class, is a direct reflection on the attitude that my Citizenship Award winner, Courtney Keller, chooses to embrace each day. No eye rolls, respect. No complaints, responsibility. Always doing the right thing, no decision making, and of course, consistently leading by example, leadership. There hasn't been a situation, there hasn't been a scenario, there hasn't been a setting, there hasn't been an example where Courtney Keller doesn't 100% of the time show what it's like to be a great citizen. She looks out for not only her friends, but any student in the classroom. Always has a polite, gentle way of helping. I've asked her numerous times to help me, not revealing to her that the reason I ask is that I know it will be done right. Most of the time, much better than I would do it. I cannot emphasize enough how Courtney Keller is the complete package. I would like to share a time when Courtney was out of her comfort zone, but as an outsider looking in, you never realized she was uncomfortable. We had a staff versus student basketball game here last month, about 2 months ago. And Mrs. Cawley kindly went around and made teams of all the 5th graders. And all I did was just like every other teacher, I read the names of the kids that were going to be playing and what team they were going to be on. I didn't think another thing of it. The game happened, big kids went in, kids went out. I happened to look out and Courtney was in there the first time. And the first thing I saw out of Courtney was, of course, the boys were hogging the whole court. Courtney had the ball and immediately passed it to another girl on the team so that she could take a shot. This is the first thing I noticed, and I was like, that does not surprise me. We get back to the classroom, and she and Maggie come up to me in a hug, as they often did. And then Maggie said, "Mr. Ricky, did you know that Courtney really didn't want to play?" And I'm like, you would never know. Because she just got right in there and did what she was supposed to do and enjoyed the moment. And that's an example of something in life that happened to her, the 10%, and she reacted to it with maturity, sensibility, and good-naturedness. That's the 90%. Congratulations, Courtney, for being a great citizen, way beyond its definition. Before I introduce and speak about my next citizenship winner, let me tell a story. This is a story that I have not told anyone yet this year, but some in this room may beg to differ. Last summer, I attended a baseball game with my wife and daughter. We came to watch Ben Bachelari, a family friend and former student and former Citizenship Award winner, by the way. And when we arrived, I immediately saw some other Hillendale kids playing on the same team. Some were former students, but one in particular was a future student. A student that I knew was entering my 5th grade class in August, although he did not know that yet. So I watched as Trevor Diorio trotted onto the field to his position. On the way by the pitcher, he whispered what I perceived as words of encouragement, in addition to a broad smile. He played his half inning, and as he entered the dugout, I noticed how he chatted up the other players and rooted on his teammates as they batted. I then watched Trevor bat, and as he made an out and came back to the dugout, there was no hanging of his head, no excuse making, no sulking, just a good teammate ready to cheer on the next batter. I came away immediately impressed with this kid, and when the school year started and I got to know Trevor even more, the same attitude that I witnessed in late July transferred immediately in my classroom. I've kidded Trevor often about that day about another thing entirely, and each time I told that tall tale, he smiled broadly and went right along with it. I'm completely impressed by his mature attitude, and I often say to myself, that kid gets it. Well, Trevor has gotten it all year. He consistently portrays great respect, responsibility, good decision-making, and leadership. He chooses his attitude daily, and the example he sets for all the kids in the classroom, in addition to myself, and most importantly to his younger Citizenship Award-winning sister at home, makes a complete citizen in every sense of the word. Congratulations, Trevor. Mr. D, I'm not giving you the mic back. Okay, so can I have the grade chairs come up, please, from One more round of applause for the fifth graders. Mrs. Doherty, Mrs. O'Neill, Mrs. Lawrence, Mrs. Collins, and I'm going to stay too. About 11 years ago, when Mr. Nolan retired from here.
Fifth graders, come on
what?
down, fifth graders. Send the fifth graders down. Send the fifth graders.
Fifth graders. Sorry, he said that. About 11 years ago, Mr. Nolan retired and left. We used to have award ceremonies every month. And at the end of the last assembly, we gave Mr. Nolan an award for every one of the monthly themes. Well, we'd like to do the same thing for Mr. D. So we'll start with Mrs. Doherty.
Come on, Mr. D. Second grade wrote a letter to Mr. D. We would like to read it. Dear Mr. D, second grade would like to honor you for your respectful nature at Hillendale Elementary. We have learned about how to collect evidence to support our opinions, so we would like to share a few things that you say and do that show us how much you respect everyone at Hillendale. We hear you say good morning to the students when they arrive, hello in the hallway, and you compliment us and make us each feel special in our own way. Respectful things you do include giving us amazing assemblies, eating lunch with us, and walking the trail during recess. You are organized, generous, and make an excellent Dr. Seuss narrator during the spring concert. You share your job with students who serve as principal for the day, and you encourage extra recess. Without you, we would not have the Hillendale Trail for sure. Mr. Dixon, you're a super role model for respect for our community. Many thanks, the ATS second graders.
Okay, so I am awarding you the Responsibility Award for the 2007 to 2017 school years. That's why I asked you when you started here. Being a principal must be tough work. You have a lot of people you are responsible for. You are responsible for making sure the parents in your school feel valued, listened to, and supported. You have a responsibility to your teachers to guide, encourage, support, and lead us, and we're not always the easiest to deal with. But most importantly, you have a responsibility to the students to help them feel safe, important, excited about learning, and to be a positive role model in their lives. That's a lot of responsibility for one person. But you handle this role with a daily smile on your face, no matter how many times you are interrupted in your office by one of us stopping by and saying, "Do you have a minute?" You realize what a precious gift we have as educators to work with children every day, and you never took that for granted. This is obvious in the way you know every student's name, know almost every parent and things about their families. Always speak to the students and staff with an open heart and mind, and overall, you really just listen. You listened to what we all needed and did your absolute best to provide it to all of us. Mr. D, you have performed your job as a principal in an exemplary manner. You have been the definition of responsibility since you walked through the doors of Happy Hillendale. Even though you are now an administrator, I have always viewed you as a teacher at heart, always here for the kids and what is best for them. And I have no doubt you will demonstrate the same level of responsibility in your new principal position. Thank you for showing up every day, bringing energy, enthusiasm, support, and giving us all a little pep talk when we needed it. Congratulations on winning the Responsibility Award, and continue to do a pattern. What you've done here, and you'll be an absolute success. Best of luck. We love you and know you'll be very, very missed.
So I get to give Mr. D the Good Decision Making Award. So I wrote a poem just like you did for the winners about the important thing about Mr. D. The important thing about Mr. D is that he is a good decision maker. He is patient and respectful, and he always takes the time to see things from all angles. He carefully makes lots of decisions in one day, always keeping the student's best interest in mind. He is a caring principal, a dependable leader, and a genuine friend. His decisions have made Hillendale a happier place. No, wait, that was mine. His decisions have made Hillendale a better place, a happier place, the kind of place we're all so lucky to be a part of. The important thing about Mr. D is that he is a good decision maker.
Okay, I get to present Mr. D with the Leadership Award. And when you think of leadership in a school, the first person that comes to mind is the principal. That's natural, the principal's the head of the school and in charge. Well, that might be true about today's winner, Stevie Dissinger. Working with him the past 10 years has made us realize that he has found a way of leading without making it all about him. Steve Dissinger leads by involving everyone, and he does it in a way that makes you proud to wear the Hillendale name. To directly steal a line from the movie, Miracle, Mr. D has always made it about Hillendale and not about Mr. D. This quote says that perfectly, spoken by Olympic hockey coach Herb Brooks to his young but talented 1980 USA team. Gentlemen, when you pull on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates. And the name on the front is a heck of a lot more important than the name on the back. Well, Mr. D, congratulations on being a great leader in every sense of the word.
Finished, and about 10 years ago when Mr. Nolan, or 11 years ago, moved up to his new role, I was given the exact same job to present it with Citizenship, and by the time they presented all of them, we used to have, 8 themes, there was really nothing left for me to say except that Mr. D has embodied all of these characteristics to make Hillendale such an amazing place, and it's not going to be the same without him. And we have big paw prints to fill in. He's left some big paw print impressions on us, and we have some really amazing things that we will always remember him by. But he's just been a great leader. He's been respectful to all of us, and I'm speaking as a mom and a teacher. My kids went through Hillendale and have wonderful memories of Mr. D as just being such a great citizen. And he's respectful of all of us. He's brought us a real sense of community and pride of Hillendale. Good citizens are inspiring, and you are. We are proud of you, and we are going to miss you dearly. But I believe you with one thought is that Huskies trump Hawks.
This is one more thing, and we were hoping to have time to show you this, but we have to get this on the buses soon. So, boys and girls, do you all remember how in the last 5 or 6 weeks, you all did a special project in Mrs. Smith's art room for Mr. D? Yes? Okay. So, what all the kids did is they all painted you a rock, a memory rock. And so they are placed, they were placed during this assembly. They are placed when you walk down the stairs out of the school. We walk the kids to the right to the left. Well, if you go to the left, there's like a huge, kind of like a shrubbery. So there's all these memory rocks that Autumn laid out in memory of you that are as permanent as being on rocks instead. Hopefully, Mrs. Smith assured us it will be quite some time. But they are memory rocks, and because you have been the rock of Hillendale for 10 years, and because you rock. And we know that you're going to do the same thing for Patty. So, everybody, when you walk out to the buses or whenever your teacher says you'll have to take a look at your rocks because they're all laid out there. We don't have time to go look at them in.
actually two things that I want to do. The first thing I want to say, from the very, very bottom of my heart, I just want to say to all of you, to the students, have a seat. To the students, to our wonderful, wonderful teachers and staff members, to all of the parents, it has been a complete privilege and honor to serve as your principal for the last 10 years. A complete honor and privilege. Never did I feel like I was coming to a job. I always felt that I was coming to a place where I belonged and a place that was making a difference. And I said it when we started the assembly, and I'm going to say it again before we end the assembly today. There is something special about this school. There's just something special about this school. And I think it goes beyond every individual in the school, but it's captured by every individual in the school coming together every day from 8:30 to 3:30 every day. And it's an amazing, magical thing, and it's something that I am so grateful and blessed to have been a part of for the last 10 years, something I will never, ever forget. We have one more presentation that I think is very, very important. And I don't want to let this day go by without making this presentation. We have an incredible organization that supports our school every single year. This year, in particular, we had a group of people that just pulled the organization together, got it back on track, and got us to a point where we needed to be, and that is our parent-teacher organization, our PTO. Can we give them a big round of applause? I would like to ask Shannon Albert and Jen Scatolino if you would please come forward. We would just like to recognize you with a very simple token of our great appreciation for what you've done for us this year. Mrs. Scatolino and Mrs. Albert are our PTO, served as our PTO presidents this year. And we want to say thank you to them. We also want to say thank you to Maggie, and please help me if I forget a name, Maggie Hare, Sarah Liberace, Allison Snyder. That's it. Oh, Christine Stouter. I missed our vice president. I just want to say thank you to the entire PTO board and for just an amazing year. And you are in good hands. And next year, Christine Souter takes over as the president. Does she have a co-president? She does not. Okay. We have a great board for next year as well. So before we end, could we just give our PTO a big round of applause? Great big thank you for the amazing work that they've done for us this year. Okay. Sorry, Nick. All right. If we could have all of our, we need to do the Hillendale cheer. We can't leave without the Hillendale cheer. Guess what? Hands down, we're doing all 5th grade. Ready? Should I not do that? You can't do that? We're going to do all 5th grade for the Hillendale cheer. So let's have Jake, Sophia, Owen, Caroline, Armand, Maggie. How many is that? I lost count already. It's 5. Let's do Eric Mayer, Matt DeVico, and let's do Campbell. Izzy? Is that it? Do I have enough? Do I have too many now? I think I have too many. We're good. All right, so you guys are the oldest students in the school. This is you and I. This is our last Spirit Assembly here at Hillendale. So I expect it to be a nice, loud, wonderful Hillendale cheer. Jake, you're going to lead us off. Are you ready? Okay, hold on. Hillendale, are you ready? Here we go. The Hillendale cheer.
Give me an A!
Okay, we will hold the buses for a few minutes just to make sure that we get everybody on. Nobody needs to rush.